So, I have been able to what I see as remote viewing for years. I just never could, I guess, grasp it in a sense. Like I overanalyze what I see, and I don't always know how to interpret it, what I see. So I did a little exercise today, and it was a video on TikTok. The person has an image in their mind of a picture, and she went over like how to get in a certain state. You're breathing. What do you see? How do you see it? Get a piece of paper, draw it out. Your first thought that comes to mind, all that fun stuff. And what came to mind for me was a mountain. And I saw blue. I couldn't tell if it was a blue sky or water. And because I thought of this mountain, I instantly thought, I thought of sand. And because she was talking about like use your senses, and like your sense of feeling, and I felt sand between my toes. Like I thought of sand between my toes, I guess. But I was telling myself that's because you're thinking of this place and you're assuming that you will feel these things. Like it wasn't popping in my head. It was my brain associating things to match what popped in my head. And I was cooking, so some bits and pieces I didn't hear. So I'm running water and stuff. It drowns out the sound. Well, lo and behold, the picture that she had was of the pyramid and with the blue sky. And I just like paused for a minute, like, whoa. And that's why I was seeing the sand. And then, because on TikTok, it'll replay and replay. And the part that I had missed, she was talking about sand. Like, if you feel sand, don't automatically think like it means beach or so forth and so forth. Just, write what you feel down. And I was like, did I think of sand because of that lady? But I didn't hear it. Subconsciously, I probably heard it, but I didn't hear it consciously. And she was like also talking about water and different things like that too. Like just explaining like when you see certain things, what they could mean. Like if you see a swimming pool and ends up in a pond, you still saw the water. But I thought that was interesting. And it just goes along with how I overanalyze what I see. Like, no, this can't be it because of yada, yada, yada. Instead of just letting it come through. I'm always battling. Like, it has to be this way. No, that's not how it is. It has to be this way. And in the mornings, I actually haven't done it in a while because of time. But I used to, when I would write my dreams down, because I would do it in the living room instead of the bedroom. Now I write my dreams down as soon as I wake up. And then if anything pops in my head, or if I'm feeling a certain way, I have a journal in the living room that I write in. Well, I used to in the morning would write down my dream, and I would do a tarot card. Like I'll pick some cards, just all 222. And I I held the cards in my hand, and the Magician popped in my head, like very strongly. I saw the image of the Magician, and the word Magician popped in my head. And I was like, I just want to see the Magician. You know, I just wanted to be that card. And I wasn't going to turn it over. I was going to shuffle them. I usually shuffle before I put them back in there. I usually shuffle like at the end or whatever. Whenever I'm done, I usually shuffle them before I put the cards back. So they're already technically shuffled, but sometimes I'll still shuffle because I have a different energy that I'm shuffling through them, I guess. But I was going to shuffle it, and something said, girl, if you don't turn these damn cards around. And I did, and there was the Magician. And I just was like, wow. And then I was like, okay, what's the top card? Because that was the bottom. I usually look at the back of the deck, and I usually cut it and see what that card is. But I was like, so what is the top? Let's guess what the top card is. And then I thought about the Death card. It wasn't as strong like the Magician, but you know, that's what I saw. And it was more filled with doubt. I don't know how to describe like the feeling. And the top card was the Knight of Swords, which the imagery reminds me of the Death card, like the horse, even though the Death is like not in motion, but it still was the horse. He was on a horse, which all the knights are on horses, but which makes me think of the Death card. The Death, is that a knight? Because he's on a horse, right? So is he a knight? Anyways, so I just thought that was interesting today. I have been like the last few weeks or so, I've been trying to practice more, like when I'm in that mainly on the weekends, because the weekdays I kind of like pass out. But I try to practice like my remote viewing when I'm in that state, because there's instances where I can see like the room I'm in, and it's like a negative image. Like if you see something and you close your eyes, and there's that negative image in your that you see in your eyesight, that's what it is. But this past weekend, I can see the details. I could, usually if I focus, it like, kind of like when I lucid dream, if I focus on it, I like pull myself out of it unknowingly. And this time I was able to play around with it. I was able to do it numerous times. Usually I'm just in that state, and then the image will just pop in my head, and I have to like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm in the state, I gotta look around, hurry up and get all the details before it goes away. And just not 4 fours. And this time, you know, that happened, and then I was able to pull myself back into that state. And I also saw one where there was like layers. There was like 2 images overlapped each other. Because I remember there was one image, I was like, I saw my son outside on our porch, but it was like I was like over his shoulder view. And then there was another layer, another picture, like either underneath it or over top of that image that I was seeing. And I was able to just sit there and view and like not worry about it disappearing. Like I was able to try to look around and whatnot. So it was just really interesting. This video is already kind of long. But have you been practicing with, you know, your gifts? What are some things that you notice that you're able to do that you couldn't quite get right last time?